Okay, peeps, hello. I'm going to talk to you about cross-hatching now. Now, what is cross-hatching? It's a way to create shading through the use of pen and ink. We call it pen and ink because they used to be separate. But as you can see here on the microns, they have numbers too. So we have an 03 here on the micron. I have an 005, which is very skinny, 005. And I have an 08, which is fatter. And then I have this kind of Bic marking pen, which I kind of like better than the microns. So you thought, but here's the thing about pens: they're kind of like they kind of get personal in a way. You find a pen that works for you, you're like, yeah, I like that pen. So here we are with our egg again, and I'm using a separate piece of paper because I'm probably going to have to move my paper around a little bit. So I'm going to really quickly outline the egg in my HB pencil. And you kind of don't need to see that. So I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so I want you guys to be able to become used to manipulating a pen. So I always, again, like to start with the box. Okay, and again, I'm going to want you to gradate from dark to light. Now, here's the way to gradate using a pen. If you have a line, you go from that line out, and you just pull a line out. Now, if you can see, my line it starts exactly on that. The lines I'm creating start exactly on this line, but they end kind of wherever they end, which makes it really good because what you don't want is you don't want it to end. You want it to be able to fade just like anything else. Okay, so I press and I kind of release. So if you notice, I have a bunch of lines going one way, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of lines going a different way. And the same thing, I'm going to start early. I'm going to start on the line, not early, but on the line itself, and just let it kind of end where it ends. Because I don't want this line here. I don't want there to be a line there. I just want it to kind of fade automatically. So the more you crosshatch, the darker the shade, okay? So if I wanted to darken even more, I can add another, going another direction. And if you notice, I keep moving my paper around. I'm going to go this way. And you can see that it's going from dark to light. All shading should be able to go from dark to light. You don't want the transition from dark to light to be really strong. You want it to be very smooth. So the next thing I'm going to want you to do is fill this box in from dark to light. And again, you just start, I kind of start this way. All right, with these. And you know what? I have a lot of practice in cross hatching, so this making these might not be that easy for you. It looks easy because I'm kind of a boss when it comes to cross hatching. It's my thing. Okay, so what I'd like you to do first before you do the box is just practice what I just did. Go from a line and try to make a faded shade just like that out of lines. So I'm going to fill in the box. You don't need to watch me do that because it's boring. Hold on. Oakley dokley. So there's my box fading from dark to light, okay? And of course, my light is always the paper. Now, here's the thing I want to tell you guys. Some of you are going to get this really easily, and some of you guys are going to struggle. If you struggle, that doesn't mean you're a bad artist, and it also doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. You just have to practice a little more. Some people just cross hatch away. They just are like born cross hatching. I don't understand it myself. So the next thing is I'm going to, I have my egg outlined. Remember what we do first to anchor whenever we're drawing something? Guess what? We always find the darkest part, right? So I'm going to go from the darkest part, which is usually this little shady place right underneath my egg. And I wish I could do like a kind of a fast forwardy thing. What's that called? Anyway, but I can't. So I'm shading first the darkest part, and I'm just going to establish that. And if you notice, I keep going back and forth with my pen until I get the darkness that I'm looking for. And shading out from this darkest spot. Okay, so there's my darkest spot. Now I'm going to continue, but I'm not going to make you watch me continue a little bit. So hold on. Wait, I do want you to see me outline the shading. Okay, so here's the shading. And as you can see, I'm outlining pretty lightly. I'm doing little dots because I don't like to commit. Okay, so now I'm going to shade in the shadow of the egg. Oakley dokley. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to a smaller pen, and that would be my 03. And now I'm going to start shading inside the egg a little bit. And as you can see, this is a much lighter shadow. And I'm going to start just observing where the shading is. Again, I'm first just using one line going one direction, just like you kind of did with everything else. First you find your darkest, okay? And then you start figuring out what's darker, what's lighter. So for instance, on the top of my egg, the background is darker than the egg, so I'm going to start going in. And if you notice, I make a little line as a guideline, okay? And I'm just going to start cross-hatching from the egg out, and I want to be able to fade it, okay? And if you notice, when you use this 03 pen, you get a much lighter and thinner line, okay? The 005 to me is just, it's too thin. This is about the right for a good start here, okay? And so as you can see, I'm just shading here, and I'm letting it fade off into the world by cross-hatching a little less, okay? But as you can see, there's the shadow on top there, and there's a couple things that I could fix. And I'm always constantly moving my paper around. Actually, it's still darker here. Okay, I'm always moving my paper around, and I'm always going from the line out, okay? I'm always cross-hatching towards me, all right? And that's important because you have more control going this way. Don't ever go that way. That's a foo-foo. Don't do that if you can help it. So I'm just going to continue cross-hatching. I just wanted you to see how I would start. I'm blocking off the darker parts first, just getting that organized. And then next would be the details, okay? So I'm going to stop this and then cross-hatch some more and then show you the rest. Okay, it's not completely done. There's still some refining to do, but that kind of gives you the idea of what I'm looking for. It's the same shading thing. Also, if you want, this helps. Going like this, and then going small, and then going large again, and then small again. This helps, if you can do this, this really helps with some control. Okay, so that's something you might want to practice as well. So cross-hatching is awesome. It's really fun to do. It's really relaxing for some reason. It's one of those relaxing things. And good luck. Bye.